This is Jake, and I want to welcome you back to another episode of the Fat Gay Texan, the show where we didn't just throw political correctness out the window, we never let it in the house. I assume by now you have all watched the 2024 presidential debate, or at least seen clips of it on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, whatnot. It it was very interesting and honestly very sad. This is not one of those things where we're going to go around making fun of Joe Biden or Trump, because that's just not, I'm sorry, 4 years ago, absolutely, we would have making fun of everybody. But this time around, it's actually sad. So my personal political views lean conservative. However, I'm not an idiot, and I will look at someone and go, I'm not a party voter, I guess that's what I mean to say. I don't give a crap what party you're with. If you're a horrible candidate, I won't vote for you. But I do tend to lean conservative. I won't get into why I tend to lean conservative, but I do. And I'm also not a person who is a single issue voter. I look at what is best for everyone in America, not just myself. I mean, we could have a presidential candidate running that is completely against gay marriage and wants to abolish it. That they are going to come in and they're going to get the economy fixed and they're going to get gas prices lowered, yada, yada, yada. I'm going for that person, you know, because at the end of the day, married or not, I still got to pay for gas and I still got to pay for food. So these are and so does everyone else in America, right? Gas prices, food prices, that all affects everyone in America. So that's the way, I vote that way. What is best for everyone else in America? And unfortunately, a lot of people don't vote that way. And we all get caught up on these stupid little issues, social issues mostly. These are the things that make headlines, right? These are the things that anger people. But at the end of the day, I believe everyone should just vote on what is best for America, not what's best for you specifically. Now, our two candidates, Trump and Biden, they're both up there in years. It's starting to feel more like we're electing the next pope than the next president. And, we have a minimum age for president. We should really have a maximum age for president, in my opinion. Just because, it doesn't mean cognitive decline necessarily. Judge Judy, oh my God, she could be president, right? I mean, smart as hell, still all there. And she is in her 80s. It's not about cognitive issues per se. It's about, in my book, after a certain age, you start becoming disconnected with the majority of Americans. Your beliefs tend to be a little bit more old-fashioned, which is fine in some situations, right? I am a conservative, but you have no clue what it's like living in modern day America, being your average American citizen. So, I think we should really have a maximum age for presidents. There are health concerns. There are mental concerns. How do we look on the world stage concerns? Yeah, at the end of the day, you want your leader to be someone who the rest of the world goes, my God, they've got their crap together. So I really feel that we should have a maximum age for presidents. Now, this debate, unlike other Trump debates of the past, was not popular because of what Donald Trump said or what Donald Trump did, which is actually a very interesting twist. We've had many, many Trump debates over the years, and it's usually highlights of what he said or funny stuff that he said. He was not the star of this show for many reasons, and you all know what those reasons are. I really felt that he was restrained. This was probably one of his more presidential showings, if you would say. Not that, he did excellent by any means, but, he held back. And I think the reason he held back was because he too sensed that this was not a time to make fun of Joe Biden. There's actually something wrong with Joe Biden, actually something wrong with him. Even Donald Trump, who will go after anyone for anything, it seems, looked at that and said, how sad He's not, he didn't think Joe Biden was stupid. He realized that this is an elderly gentleman, not much older than himself, that is genuinely having mental cognitive issues. And that is not a funny topic. There are obvious signs of dementia. There are obvious signs of something going on there. When, my grandmother had these issues as she got older, and I've been around several people who do have mental cognitive issues as they age, and there's always filler words they use. My grandma always said, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. That was kind of her thing, right? Joe Biden, he says, look. Look is his filler word. When he gets lost, he'll just sit there and say, look. And then he pauses, and then he tries to get back to where he was. So I think even Donald Trump noticed that there were some real issues. It was not something to be made fun of. And it was a good move for Trump, because he would have looked really disrespectful, because a lot of Americans realize now after that debate, hopefully, that Joe Biden is unfit to be president. He cannot be president of this country. We're not talking about politics. We're just talking about he mentally cannot be president of this country. I mean, think about that. If that was your parent or grandparent, if Joe Biden was your parent or grandparent on stage, you would be embarrassed is not the right word, but you would feel so ashamed that you allowed that to happen. You would say, Grandpa, let's talk. We need to sit down. We need to have a conversation, because, you cannot do this anymore. This is not good for you. You need to rest. You need to relax. We have some issues we need to talk about, because honestly, y'all, this is turning into elder abuse. Elder abuse. He is up there on stage when he should not be, making a fool of himself, which is sad. And it's not his fault. He's not making a fool of himself because he's an idiot or anything. We're not talking about that. But he's presenting himself as a fool. It's like you're watching this train wreck happen, and no one in his life is saying, "Hey, Joe, get off the tracks." No one. They're saying, "Go, go, 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 go." I mean, his wife, his kids, the whole, anyone that is directly related to him or in his life that is pushing him to do this is an abusive, horrible person. Jill Biden is a horrible, abusive person. She should sit there and say, honey, no, she's doing this for her own gain. Everyone around him is doing this for their own gain. They're all doing this for their own gain. And they will sit there and abuse this elderly person, put him on TV, don't care what happens, and then come back with some stupid crap afterwards. Like, it was a bad night. We all have bad nights. I'm not as good as a debater as I used to be. No. So everyone, his family, Joe Biden's family, they're horrible people. Then we look back at the bigger picture of the whole thing. Biden and Trump and Biden. Is this the best we can do in America? I mean, I honestly think like my next door neighbor could do a better job. Isn't that sad that we have, for one, it's sad we have a two-party system. We're not going to get into that. But it is sad, with all the money and everything else and all the influences these people have, these parties have, this is the best we can come up with, is these two. I'm not excited about this upcoming election by any stretch of the imagination at all. This is not an exciting thing. I don't feel like overwhelmingly the need to get out there and vote for one of these candidates at all. And this is the best we have. There are so many smart people out there, so many people who have wonderful ideas, so many people who are not all that controversial. And that's what we have. But we may have just hit the target on the head there. These two people are extremely controversial in itself. This is turning in more to a TV show than actually who gives a crap about the country. These two people make headlines. I mean, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to really spend money on ads or anything else. They do, but you don't have to, because, between Trump and Biden, I almost said Trident. That'd be hilarious. The Trident team, get them both in there. They say something ridiculous, or Biden has a moment, And they're all over the news. You don't even have to advertise these people. So this it seems more like some weird marketing for a reality show than it does a presidential debate. Now, what happens from here? That's a very good question. I'm not sure what happens from here. I do I don't know because I feel like a lot of Americans saw how bad that Joe Biden's performance was, and that will turn some people away. But the other choice isn't what great either. You know, the other choice isn't great either. So I don't know. I think we're just going to sit here and we're going to go, crap. I don't know how it's going to go on election night. I, where do we go from here? Who knows? Are Americans smart enough, especially the far left liberal people, are they smart enough to sit there and say, I can't stand Donald Trump. I think he's a liar. He's a cheat. He is a convicted criminal. But out of the two, only one of those candidates, knows what they ate for breakfast today. Are they smart enough to sit there and say that? This is not about anymore someone's political views. This is about electing. We have two choices. One of them is not mentally competent to be president, regardless if you believe their platform or not. They're just not mentally competent. So it's kind of like you're hiring a window washer and you have one guy who's a jackass. And, because you have this big building, big tall building, you need him to wash the windows. And this one guy's a jackass and a jerk. But you only have two people to choose from. Guy number one is a jackass, rude, crude, doesn't give a crap, disrespectful, but he's able to do the job. The other guy is nice, he's sweet, he is a respected citizen, but he has no arms or legs. You're going to have to go with the jerk. You're going to have to go with the jackass. You only have two people in the world that can wash these windows. They are covered in bird shit. The jackass is physically able to do it. The nice, wonderful guy has no legs or arms. He can't wash the windows. So I think that's kind of where we are right now. We're screwed. We're stuck. These are the two people we have to choose from. And that is a horrible place to be in. Will there be another debate? Probably not. We'd all like to see one. We could probably put it on pay-per-view and they could make enough money to get us out of national debt, but probably not. Joe Biden can't handle it. And I think his campaign people know that it would play really, really badly. I don't think there'll be another one. Anyway, I hope you got something out of my opinions today. And that's just kind of what I think about the debate performance. So thank you so much for listening. This is Jake signing off.